haven't paid it off yet, but we need to figure out how we can do that a little bit differently. And actually, me streaming this kind of stuff is very similar. I'm documenting the whole process of redesigning my personal website. And so this time we have Webflow as a sponsor again, and I'm streaming it live. So while I stream, I'm also recording, and we're going to use this content for another series kind of like that. And I have this idea for this like built by hand or built from scratch series that we kind of tested it out, which was not as successful as building a brand. But I have this idea for this series to do where we just tackle a design client, or, you know, maybe it's a friend of ours, or a family member that needs help with some kind of design solution, and we just document the whole process. And it's more about the story and the journey than like teaching, because I feel like we can tell you the theory, and Chris does that really well. He's an amazing teacher. But sometimes you just have to see it in action. Like, that's the value of having an internship. And so when we looked at like building a brand and things like that, I kind of felt like taking you guys along for the journey through that process was educational for a different like subsection of people, because it wasn't theory. It wasn't like telling you exactly like how to do something. It was just showing you how we do it. And so I'm trying to figure out how to make more content like that affordably. We actually did submit it to Netflix. We had a couple talks with them, and not Amazon though. That's a good idea. Production value was on point. Yeah, the guys did a great job on that. Yeah. Pragmatic and theory. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly it. Moonraid. Yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So what are you guys doing today? What are you working on? What's on your plate? There were many beautiful beards in that, which I feel like mine's looking pretty good today. Growing a beard, having a beard is like this weird journey. Like sometimes you wake up and it's terrible. Oh no, not accounting crap. No. Oh, painting along. Okay. 1 minute briefs, World Wildlife Day. Nice. Nice. What else? What else you guys got to do today? Found your passion for design while you were 80% through your bachelor's in accounting. Wow. Huh. Email and layout. Okay. Moonraid, you're doing a lot of those things, huh? Getting to learn MailChimp. Yeah. Designing your client's website. Nice. Delicious Goatmeal had their first UX UI interview yesterday. Nice. Congrats. How'd it go? Pizza eating time for Mr. Shay B. Oh, Webflow web design. Nice. Franz. I think you said that before in the chat. Portfolio rebrand is exciting. Well, cool. That's what we're working on today. My goodness, Jamal. Webflow too. Turns out we're actually not going to be working in Webflow. Well, I'm not going to be working in Webflow today. Emmanuel doing a logo a day. Nice. That's cool. Those challenges, I've never been able to finish them, but I know that the value is huge on those things. So more power to you. Plate mat for home. Cool. Delicious Goatmeal has a gut feeling that they didn't get it, but they managed to point out a mistake on the company's site, so I think that might have saved me. Maybe. I have to be careful about that because you don't know who built the site. I don't want to put any doubt on the interview. I'm sure you did fantastic. I've ran into situations where like I've been talking with a client before and it's like, man, who did your site? Terrible. And you know, not so harsh words, but like it's like my wife did it. before she passed away. It's like, I'm so sorry, you know. That didn't actually happen, but like, you know, situations like that where it's like, oh yeah, our chief creative officer did that. Ben, you on the line? You know, that kind of thing. Ooh. Just kind of have to be careful about that. Oh, right on. 12 midnight in the Philippines. Cool. Co-working. Walter's in the toilet mapping out his freelance website flowchart. I love that. Nice. It's called efficiency, people. All right, so here's what I'm working on today. I need some inspiration. So we're actually not going to be working in Webflow. I'm going to be on Pinterest and awards, and I'm just going to start figuring out like what I want the site to look like. And I have a kind of specific way that I do my creative research. And I made a video about this on the Academy. It didn't exactly perform well. So you may not have seen it. Like the algorithm didn't really like it, but I split up my research. Instead of looking for a website that looks like I want my site to look, I kind of do, I don't know, you could call it micro research. It's not a real thing, but I divide my research up into categories. And so for the site, right now I'm thinking about like, what do I want my typography to look like? And what do I want my color palette to look like? And how do I want my navigation to perform? Things like imagery, so photography. How do I want my photos to look? Like what kind of tone am I looking for? There's the layout and the grid of certain sites. How do I want that to look? And then finally, it's like link and button styling. We may get to mobile layouts and inspirational mobile layouts today, but that's kind of like the lowest priority for me. I enjoy desktop design mo better, and that's what we're gonna focus on. Matt says at his last job, they asked me my opinion of their website in my interview. They were planning a rebrand, but didn't tell me initially. Luckily, I was honest without being rude. That's awesome. Chalor asks, how do you properly bring everything together later? Well, we'll get there. There's a couple of different ways that I've done it in the past, but it seems to be it's a little different every time. Do I have a mood board? No, this is actually pre-mood board. I don't know if I'm gonna do like a full style scape for this project. I don't think that like I need it. But I'm just gonna work in Adobe XD and kind of bring all of the JPEGs and the screenshots in here and just kind of fill up these little boards. And you can see I've categorized them. So like, you know, I've got my typography board here and color, navigation, that kind of thing. So I'm curious, what kind of sites do you guys use for creative research? I mean, I've got like, oh, there we go. Oh, Windows is bugging out. It's bugging out. There we go. I've got Pinterest and Dribble and awards and all that kind of stuff already prepped and ready. But I'm curious to see if you guys have anything else, like anything cool or special that, you know, people don't normally use for design research. How do I use awards? I go to there and then I click on a site and I'm like, Jesus, not gonna be able to keep up with this. That's pretty much how awards research goes. No, you don't, Yorchi. Oh my God. You work for them is a really cool one. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is more like assets and stuff, right? Resources. Ooh, some cool stuff here. Like that. Dribble Behance Awards, but Nielsen Norman Group for some deep UX research. Interesting. Diagram. A neo-grotesque with deep joints. Or joins. Okay, so they're talking about that, like the join between the two parts of the T there. Not a huge fan of that, to be honest. I mean, it's cool if you're into that kind of thing. This style hit the design scene hard in the past like 6 months, where it's like blacks and grays and then like a crazy color, super saturated, very Swiss. You don't like that style? Yeah. To each their own. But there's a couple of like typefaces out there that people use with really, really deep inkwells. And that's one thing that just irritates me, because I kind of come from ink traps, I guess. I come from a print background, and you'd never want to see this stuff. Like the reason why they're there is so that when you print them, the ink fills them in the right way. And so just, I don't know, it just looks weird to me. I don't know. This is what the kids are doing today, though. Let's just Discord here. There we go. Muesli comes out with some cool weekly inspiration. I feel like I was subscribed to Muesli, but something happened. I don't know. I don't get their emails anymore. Oh, that's why. It's a Chrome extension. Aha. You've got me on your phone and the pro group on your computer. Dude, go hang out with the pro group. I'll be here after. Pentagram.com. Okay. I'm going to go there. I know that like it's Pentagram's like the golden designer standard. I don't necessarily find all their work all that inspirational though. Like it feels I don't know. Maybe I'm just anti this side of the world, the design world, but I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't reach, if that makes sense. Somebody put site in the chat. Hold on. Dudley Mendoza says fontsanduse.com, and I absolutely love that. Pentagram is an amazing group, right? I mean, they're legends. It's just, I don't know. I like to see boundaries being pushed. It's a cool color scheme. That blue on pink. Yeah, this is one of my favorite websites to do typography research on. because you can look up a font, like this is one of my favorite typefaces, and you can come in here and you can see how people are using it. Thus the fonts in use. I will increase in size so you guys can see it, especially if you're on mobile. Please remind me of that stuff, and I want to know. Oh, this is cool. This is beautiful. So when I see something like this, I'm like, the type is perfect. It's got tons of negative space behind it. And then also the color. I really like the kind of dark green here with the pink. And I've been toying around with the idea of doing something along the lines of that dark green and pink kind of combo. I'm a girl dad. I don't know if you know what that is, but I have 2 baby girls, and they're both obsessed with pink. And we tried, guys. We tried to prevent this from happening, but they absolutely love pink. It's just built into them. I don't know. So I'm saving that one. So in terms of like the actual typeface, I'm not a huge fan of the G3 Sectra, but like I said, Active Grotesque is one of my favorites. So the way that they've used it is not, I don't know. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's not what I'm after. So I think I'm gonna put that into color and layout. I'm gonna put color. Here. Just super light, airy. It's nice. All right, let me try this. Nope. Still not working right. I take back everything I said about this mouse. There you go. Why use Adobe XD? Oh, the whole project's in there. You could use, there's I forget what the software is that we used in building a brand. There's a mood boarding software. I think it starts with M. That's really fun to use. It's not Miro. Oh, that's gonna bug me. Could use that, but like, I'm gonna be designing in XD, so might as well keep it all in one doc. Millinote, yeah, exactly. Yep, Millinote's great. It's really fun to use. Anderson Grotesque, that's kind of cool. So this is the same company, that podiatry project. Yeah, that's cool, guys. This is kind of the look and feel that I'm going for as far as layout. That's really clean. You notice that the body type is fairly large. I've noticed that trend where, you know, it used to be like people kind of stuck to that 16, 18 point size on websites, and we've come a long way. That's pretty. So I'm just dragging this stuff to my desktop. I've literally been obsessed with grotesque fonts recently. I wonder why I get that question a lot. Like, why are you using Adobe XD? No big deal. I'm just curious. because the tool is just the tiniest piece of the puzzle. Maybe because Figma is a thing. It is a thing. It's completely overtaken the experience design world. But I think it's okay just to like say no to trends. Somebody posted a tweet in response to me not really liking Clubhouse. They said it's okay not to ride every train. And I was just like, man, that's great. This is pretty. That text is way too wide though. Ooh, look at that lettering. You guys should submit your work to this fonts in use. I know that, you know, Active Grotesque is used all over the place. And there's only, what, maybe 40 examples? There's no number. At 41, look at that. I think maybe the way Figma handles community feedback and updates quicker is what... Oh, yeah. I don't think XD was first. I think that crown definitely goes to Sketch. But if you look at the speed at which XD moves for such a huge company, that's impressive. Recently, we haven't seen like seismic features be released for XD in the past like 6 months. But a lot of things are super fine-tuned. Like a lot of the type controls are things that I just absolutely love about XD. Fonts in the Wild. I don't think that I've seen that one. Does XD support AR? I don't know. Sporting Grotesque. That's a new one. I have never seen that one. Carla. Is that a Google font? You want to talk about things that are somebody that's, or a company that's been moving fast. Google Fonts, man. In the last 3 years, their library has expanded. This sharp grotesque is pretty cool. So this stream is the first time I'm hearing about grotesque font styles. It's okay. Being self-taught myself, it is like typography classification and typeface classifications. That kind of stuff is not readily available. It's not something that like you just walk into, if that makes sense. So. All right, this is awesome. I absolutely love this. Aonic. I like it. Modernist roots, but details referencing mechanical early grotesques. Aonic positions itself as a neo-grotesque with a geometric skeleton. cool. I love the M. Super nice. I also like that the X height, which is like the height of all the lowercase letters, is pretty high. So the contrast between the capital letters and the lowercase letters is lower. In my mind, it makes it more legible. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Pulling that over. Oops. Delicious goat meal loves railway. Get out. No. I used railway a lot back in the day. That was my typeface of choice when I would buy like stock templates for WordPress websites. Okay, so Inter, so this typeface has a special place in my heart. I absolutely adore it. It's also free, and I'm gonna pull it. Yep. This Gordita is kind of cool, more geometric. What do I think about sites like dafont.com? All right, so Dafont gets a lot of hate, and I don't think that it's 100% warranted because it serves a specific group of people. But as soon as you start to tier up in the design world, we need to leave sites like Dafont in behind us. So the typefaces that they distribute, sometimes there are other fonts that are mistitled. Sometimes, actually pretty much all the time, the entire family isn't available. Sometimes they can be kitschy, which is why they get a bad rap. But I think that like, if you're in need of free fonts, if your budget is super tight, sometimes you can find a nice font on there. I don't know. But I also think with the advent of Adobe fonts, like Adobe fonts and then Google fonts right now, all free, and there are some incredible typefaces in there. So I would recommend going through those versus something like Dafont. Hey, Quime. Is Figma using Inter? I don't know. Yeah, Inter's great. Special place in my heart. This one is a freebie to everyone. A Typo Foundry. That's cool. Let's check that out. Nice. Pay what you want. Somebody in the chat, let's see, who was it? Moonraid, where would you recommend to go purchase fonts? I always recommend going directly to the Foundry because those guys work hard and it's just a tedious craft. And so I want to make sure that they're getting all of the revenue that they can. This is cool. I'm not really seeing anything that I'm looking for here. What is your favorite grotesque font? Put it in the chat. Archaea? Oh, that is pretty. Did I just miss this on their site, on their page? It's kind of like a mono font. It's got mono elements to it. Oh, that G is tripping me out. Look at that. And then the inkwells or ink traps here. The Y. The K is really funky too. I like typefaces that have those like little funky things. But inkwells is just, I don't know, drives me a little crazy if they're too extreme. But this is really cool. Nice. Can't grab any images, and I don't know how to do screenshot in Windows. So, just use that. So that Go Full Page, it allows you to download full page screenshots of a website, which is pretty rad. That's a good one. What else? Print screen. I don't have a print screen button on my keyboard. I can't figure that out. Okay, Windows Shift S. Okay, hold up. Windows Shift S. Oh, snap. This is it. So where does it go? Paste? Okay, hold up. Oh, that's great. Nice. Anna Lisboa, thank you. That's great. Okay, was this... I actually didn't really want to do that, but yeah, man. Okay, so that's Windows Shift S. Very cool. Founders Grotesque is a classic. I feel like it's been a little bit overdone though. We actually use Founders Grotesque on the Future site, but it's the Founders Grotesque Modern. Sophia's kind of cool. Look at that color. Way too fun for me, but like, damn, that's so cool. Do I have a schedule for when I stream? I absolutely do. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 1:30 p.m. This is cool too. I've been super into this kind of stuff. Exil 71. Oh, hold up. Oh, look at me go. All right, just for those of you guys on YouTube who are wondering where the chat is, I'm on Twitch. I'm dual streaming right now, and so if you can't see those messages, that's where it is. Normally when we're just chatting, I'm gonna put the chat up on the screen, but this is where we are. Okay, I got to revisit Founders Grotesque because I've always kind of wondered. I've always kind of wanted to buy the full thing. Just got to take another look at it. It is gorgeous. I mean, it's just pretty, isn't it? Let's see if it's find a good example of it in use. I'm gonna go through the chat and check out your typefaces in a second. That's kind of cool. That's a little bit more the style that I've gone for in the past. Just looking for a good, like, clean example of Founders to add to the mood board. Oh my goodness. Leaves, we got to check that out, right? Great photo. See, like, guys, if this design can make it onto fonts in use, like, your stuff can make it. Just, you know, because then, like, there's only 97 examples of Founders Grotesque in use on this site. I think this is an opportunity to get your work out there, so go forth, design, and submit. Oof, look at that, boss. It's nice. Not seeing any true examples of like how I would want to use this typeface here. Wonder if you can you search on this website? Yes, you can. Yeah, see, that's super clean. Very nice. This is nice too. Right, so my other super favorite typeface is Hercules. I use this all the time, but it's not found in the wild apparently. I don't think Chris likes this one, but I just absolutely, I think it's a gorgeous Scotch serif. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm getting the hang of this now. Can't stop now. It's so much better than like dragging a file onto your desktop, which down here. What did I like this stuff for? This is also Founders. You guys ever do that where you're pulling resources and then you're like, why did I like this? What was it about this? I think it was layout. Okay. Let's check out what you guys put in the chat. So the Jubilat font is a nice one. All right, let's take a look. It's weird that Google knows what I'm trying to type. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but good call out. What else? Let's see what AA is calling out here. Ooh. Omega Sans. I think I have that. I think that was in like a font bundle that we did. Wow, look at those. Those are pretty. I kind of toyed around with the idea of pulling in black letter. Just like small elements in the site where it's like you have a couple of pieces of black letter in there, and it'd be really kind of funky to see black letter typeset in pink. You know, those like opposing concepts, or those opposing like throwing something in the face of an intent or a standard is always kind of fun to do. Mr. Shaby, bye. Thank you for joining. Neue Machina. Let's take a look. This suggestion comes from Kiyu Rids. Kiyu Worlds. Thank you. All right, here we go. No. Neue Machina. Okay, so it's definitely grotesque. And I have one major problem with it. And it's those inkwells. I just don't like them. Just don't like them. It makes it feel like, you know, when you're cutting a piece of wood and the cut doesn't like go completely through the piece of plywood, or maybe like you overcut something. That's what bugs me about it. I know that it's probably like the world's most beautiful font. It's just that one thing I have a hard time with. Yeah, I don't think I could get over that. But as far as the shapes go, man, it's beautiful. Does Figma use this font on their website? I don't know. Let's check it out. Kind of looks like it. Yeah, same. They got that same G. Weren't we looking at another grotesque typeface that had that same G and that same Y? I think we just saw that somewhere. Figma uses white ink trap. Okay, gotcha. And there they are, the ink traps. There's a place in this world for everything, the more accepting of things, even if, oh my goodness, it's not supposed to happen. Even if we don't personally like them, the better off we are. Absolutely, yeah. Luckily, this is my personal website, so I get to kind of make those decisions. But again, I'm not saying that it's bad. Like, those things are there for a reason, and I think that the type designer, his intent was to accent those ink traps, ink wells, whatever you want to call them. It's not my style, not my cup of tea. All right, somebody suggested Oaks Grotesque. Brother all espressa. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, on the scale of like grotesque, it's still pretty safe. That's pretty. Let's see. Let me pull something from here. Sorry, my puppy's barking in the background. Okay, so there's a definite theme here. Grotesque fonts are winning out. Aw, boy Tokyo, thank you. Waking up to a MrBenBurns stream is quite the relaxing way to start today. Cheers. Really like FF Mark Pro from Digger. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check that out. I've seen that before, and it's, from what I can remember, it's really nice. I think I've actually used this for a couple projects, to be honest. Let's go Typewolf. I don't know if you guys know about Typewolf, but this is a great site too. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm gonna go handle this puppy. I will be right back. You guys hang out. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right. If you guys didn't know, I actually moved recently, so I'm staying with my in-laws while we're building a house, and with 2 kids and a dog and 4 adults in one home, things can get a little crazy. So let me know if the noise is ever like, you know, too much. Let's do this. There we go. Moonraid, you haven't heard background noise. Good. I can hear it, but that's okay. All right. So as far as FF Mark goes, I like it. Maybe like, okay, so see how they've used it here? This is cool. Yeah, this is really nice. Matter of fact, we'll do a different screenshot. We should all share our portfolio links and critique. Mine's in beta. Absolutely. If you guys don't know, I actually do have a Discord, and we actually have a future Slack for these kinds of things. The Slack channel for our alumni members is causing us some difficulty with like people joining. I think Slack is like reducing their support for like community building, and they're focusing more on work chat. So I'm looking for like another solution. So I started a personal Discord just to see how it goes, and I think we got 60 people in there, and there's a place for you to share your work. So yeah, link is in the Instagram bio if you're interested. Do I have an RTX? I don't know what that means. NVIDIA broadcast. Oh, I see. I think I do. Not on. Maybe I do. I have kind of a generic graphics card on my streaming computer. On the gaming, I have a RTX 2080. All right, let's get back to this. Kind of pop this open in a new tab to check it out. There's not much about it. Anderson Grotesque. One thing I don't like about it is the bottom of the M. Kind of prefer to have a flat there. We're super nitpicky now because we've been doing this for a half an hour. Let's do most liked. Let's see what everybody else likes. Oh, snap. That's really cool. Accidents Grotesque. You can't go wrong with a classic like that. So here's some black letter. I'm gonna pull some of this stuff because I don't know how I would use it, but I've always been fascinated by it. Rafik. Definitely gotta check that out. I think somebody in the chat suggested sharp grotesque. There's your white ink trap. I guess that's what Figma uses there. Neue Helvetica. Helvetica Neue. It's really nice. FFDin. A lot of people ask what typeface Chris uses, and this is one of his favorites. He's been into like Knockout recently, but you know, this always shows up somehow. Isn't it weird after you like work with a designer for a while, you get to know their preferences? Like Greg would probably like something like that. That period, that what is it? Bookmania. This Druk wide kind of goes along with that look. Like it. Oh, there's a Druk as well. Swiss International, that's nice. Kind of like a Helvetica alternative. Okay, probably have enough tabs up right now. Accidents Grotesque. Again, one of my favorites. And it's always one of those fonts that like I always come back to. I'm like, why don't I start with this one? Every single time it's like, this is the one I want to use. And I'm like, yeah, but what about all the other ones? And then I just kind of eventually come back. Same thing with Inter. Whoa, look at this. So it's not something it's not anything crazy, right? But like the typeset on this is reminiscent of something that you would see online right now, today, and yet the date of this piece is like 1969. Look at that. Like you've seen this kind of layout, this you know, you've seen this typeface in the wild on somebody's site, kind of set like this. That's crazy. Uncertain stomach. What? Sounds like a punk band. Just looking for a good example of this. This is awesome. What? Take a look at that in a minute. Oh wow, look at this. I've never seen Accidents Grotesque used in this way. That is gorgeous. There's no question I'm going to screenshot this. Chat, come on. Just beautiful. Okay, I think we've reminisced for long enough. Let's take a look at this. I don't know why. I don't know. It's black letter says something to me, and I don't know how I want to use it, but I think it needs to make its way in there somehow. Maybe not for any kind of like text that needs to be ultimately legible, but it's just like, man, super cool. Maybe it's from my punk rock days. We could do it like, you could put it in little illustrations or SVGs and stuff like that across the site. It doesn't have to be, it can be more like accents versus something that's actually in place on purpose. I gotta use this keyboard shortcut. Say Windows, Shift Space. There it is. I'm just in the building phase of this, so like we'll edit later. Maybe it won't make its way in there, but like, just too cool. Let me see. If anybody wants to manage their tabs in a very cool way, I found this Chrome extension app called Workona. Changed the way I browse. That's cool. Yeah. I'm all about that. I'll check that out. Let's see. Oh my God, a lot of Chrome thing. Okay. This thing's packed. Yeah, that black letter thing was full of stuff. This kind of type is difficult if you're based in Germany. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. It is for my personal brand. We're just kind of exploring right now. I have not made my own font. I have not. All right, graphique or graphic. Okay, so we're starting to see some patterns here, like druck or druk and graphic or graphique are used together, and I bet you they look really, really nice. Yeah. I think I like the extended version of druck or druk better. I'm not really seeing much graphic in these. I guess it's used as the body, the text. Isn't it amazing that the same typeface can be used in wildly different ways? Like the difference between the druk stuff and this lowry example. I mean, it's just a wildly different vibe. Oh, here's a handwritten font, and I don't hate it. This is probably the first one I've ever seen that I'm like, you know, that's kind of cool. The way that they used it is actually pretty neat. Because before I would prefer to like have someone, you know, write the thing instead of using a typeface, but like this looks really good. Let's settle it, Comic Sans. Yes. I spoke to one of my design heroes, Voye Grubishek, and he did a Comic Sans challenge, and he was like, people just don't know how to use that font. I was like, that's blasphemy. He's like, no, seriously. You can make some really nice stuff with that, but people use it in ways that make it look very childish and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you're gonna have to send me that So, because I don't believe you. And, you know, like, Webflow uses Graphique pretty well. Is that what they use? Let's see. Is that Graphique? Graphic? It's not graphic, is it? It's Inter, guys. What? Didn't know that. That's cool. Never heard from him again. No, we're in touch. That's funny though. Okay. I think we got just a little bit more time on type, and then we can move into some other stuff. I was hoping we could find something where graphic was like headlined versus in support, but I'm not seeing it. Did I just lose it? I think I just lose it. Oh, that's all right. We'll move on. Sharp grotesque. Twitch uses Inter, yeah. Well, it's like extra free, if that makes sense. So I don't blame them. This is actually really nice. This sharp, yeah. Not thrilled about the colors, but oh, okay. I was wondering. I think this is like the CBD seltzer or something like that. I love that button. Holy hell, that's great. Oh, hold on. Let me get that keyboard shortcut going. Post this over in link and button styling. The way that Twitch does their buttons is awesome. You guys seen that? I'll show you in a sec. Oh man, that's so handy. I don't like winding up with like file folders full of JPEGs. So this is a lot nicer for me. Don't do it? Okay. So let's see. There's a good button. Well, you can kind of see it on the thumbnail. Here you see how like the thumbnail kind of expands and there's like a 3D extrusion. That's super, super nice. I'm really enjoying that. Let's see. Find a good one that kind of stands out. This green does. But they also have buttons too that perform the same way. Solid color. Kind of like that right there. Og is amazing, but only works in big type sizes. Okay, I'll check that out. Let's see. Covered that pretty well. Let's do Og. Sharp type is a very good foundry. Yeah, I've seen this all over the place. makes sense. Not my jam, but it's beautiful. Yeah, tons of people are using this on Dribbble. Buxton, thank you for the follow. Digger, thank you for the follow. You weren't following? Like, I think you've been on every stream, dude. Anyway, Ocean Way, thank you for the follow. OTL Matt, thanks. MA, thank you for the follow. Z, and then Branny Dadshaw, thank you. Thank you guys for the follow. All right, so Swiss International is gorgeous. Let's find a good example of this. I love that it has a mono space version. It's really cool. Oh, here we go. Oh, God. There's the Comic Sans. I was expecting like something else or something. They used it confidently though. Like, can you guys see that? Like, it's in there. I love the Swiss. I just, ooh, throwing me. Okay. They did it. They were bold. They went there. And here we are looking at it. That's funny. I think it's cool that it also has a serif version that's meant to pair with it. Let's check this out. That's beautiful, of course. I mean, come on. Must be like a whole museum. Oh, what? Cool. Has anybody looked into like experience design on a physical space? It's kind of like interior design, but it's, you know, exhibit design and stuff like that. Such a cool niche. Okay, this is nice. Let's do capture this right there. So we're just going to keep adding to these mood boards till we're to a place where just super happy with it and we can start refining. I spend a lot of time in this phase. I can't get over that Comic Sans. It's crazy. Oh, dang. That is awesome. Look at that texture. That's cool. Kind of like halftone texture laid over there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that was that Druck or Druk, right? Yeah. You know, it's reminiscent of Champion or Knockout, the stuff that we use on the Futures main channel. But you can get like super condensed with that stuff, whereas I don't think Druck is the same thing. And also Druck is Druck is a grotesque versus Champion's a little different. But as far as like them setting it in all caps like this, like you could probably achieve the same effect with Knockout or Champion. We got Swiss. All right. Okay, am I missing anything? Like, should we? Is there any other typefaces that I should look up? What do you guys think? Before we move into another platform. Whoa, what was this? This is nice. It's got those inkwells though. Breve display. Okay, I'll check it out. I wish that they would lay this website out better, because my fonts, like, it's by Monotype and they're a respected foundry. I'm just not like thrilled about the site experience. That's cool. Don't know that's gonna fit what I'm looking to achieve. Oh wow, they got all sorts of different variations of this. Serif, slab, sans serif. News. Look at that funky display. That's cool. It's pretty neat. We're not going there yet. We're not going to do it. Are you guys active on Pinterest? Do you like Pinteresting? I go through like phases and waves. Like right now I'm super into this. Wow. Hell yeah. Save that to personal brand. Yep. Or that mobile too, right? Yeah. I hear Alt and F4 brings up a list of new and trending typefaces. Nice try. Did I take a look at Quincy CF? Might have missed it. I believe I did. Let me just check real quick. I own this. That's why it was familiar. I own this and I love it. And I think I chatted with the founder. Yeah, Connery. Yeah, or the designer. This is absolutely beautiful. It's not, I don't know, man. I'm going to save it. Because I definitely bought this. Here, let me do that to include the name of it. It's almost too soft for what I'm going for. It's like really roundy and it's very friendly, you know? But the vintage vibe that you get from this is great. Yeah, that's a great one. What's up, Skeed Walker? Good to see you again. AA's like, yeah, too active on Pinterest. I think that the best thing is when you find a designer on Pinterest that has like your similar aesthetic, and then the boards are already done. You just go look at their boards. It's great. Chris has like a crazy amount of stuff on his Pinterest that I've absolutely loved going through. And Matthew's interior design Pinterest boards are great. When I'm looking for inspiration, I go to Pinterest, which isn't often. Oh, you gotta spend a lot of time in inspiration. Or how about this? I won't tell you what to do. I spend a lot of time in inspiration mode. It's probably my favorite part of like the creative process, like gathering. It's cute. That's the bad thing about Pinterest. It's like, it's very easy to get distracted. Or it's like, ooh, a wine cooler. But let's take a look at the stuff that I've pinned in the past for my personal brand. I wish you could like swipe through this or scroll. So we just pinned that one. Again, absolutely love this kind of layout. I'm just going to avoid clutter at all possible moments. So this goes back a ways, guys. Like this goes back several years. Like this style is super cool, but I don't think that I would pursue this anymore. It's kind of like muted vintage gray. But I never want to like remove things from boards because it's like, you know, part of the history. This is really nice. I think what I really liked about this one is the huge chunky header, the logo off to the side, the description or even menu item here, and then the multi-column design. This is exactly what I'm going for as far as like layout. So we need to screenshot that. Here's the other thing I don't like about Pinterest is that it's super difficult to actually find the source. You know what I mean? Like it's really tough to find who the designer is that actually worked on it. Like it could be this person, Lappa Ninja, but you never know. Zoom in here so I can get. So here's the other reason why I really like that like massive chunky header is that it's not going to require an image on every single page in the header. Click the image though. Okay. Good. You never know what you're going to get though when you click on a Pinterest image. For real. Like it could take you directly to like somebody's mom blog. So for this one, what I really liked was the just these little elements here. These like, I don't know what you would call it, type on a path elements. It's kind of badgy stuff. Yeah, Pinterest image is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Yep, it's the truth. Super Swiss. Right? I'm just gonna see what I mean? Look at this. You never know. Like you can kind of look, you can try an eyeball where it's the URL shows up in the lower left-hand corner there, buildwithspaces.com. But you never know. With this one, what I was really drawn to is number one, the complete lack of photographs. And number two, I really enjoyed the transition from, come on, get the mouse out of there, from light to dark on the back. So that's something I'm gonna integrate, but this kind of stuff is best, like you can't really grab a screenshot of this, so I'm gonna leave it, but I like that the weight of the design and the weight of the layout are completely on the typography. This is really nice. Just super clean. I also like that she doesn't have a logo. The longer I do this, the more I realize that like I don't really want a logo. I have icons that I want to make, like my heritage is Scottish, so I was like, maybe we can do something cool with a thistle. And you know, obviously the flame icon for Burns, but it's just like I don't know, I like that she has the confidence where it's like, hey, I'm a design director, but I don't need a logo. I also like the use of the frame and how the type, you know, it's left aligned, which is nice, but then you have these like weird things where the line is like higher than the cap height of the, you know, area there. So it's just rebellious enough to go against the grain and kind of catch your attention. Personal work is the best. So much freedom. The freedom is what gets me hung up though. But yeah, imagine telling a client no logo. I actually told a client one time that we should just avoid using a logo because their name was so long. That did not go over well. I can promise you that. See, this stuff's cool too. I liked the rubber stamp feel of these numbers. And then, of course, like the hipster type lockup here. Established 2014, exactly. But I just, you know, I have a soft spot for black letter, but I also have another soft spot for condensed sans serifs or compressed sans serifs. I really liked this. What is this? Yeah, I remember this being something I was really drawn to just because of how clean it was. Like, look at that. That's the whole header right there. Yep, it's going in. It would be so cool if someone was in the chat who actually designed a piece that we're pulling for our inspiration. Yeah, these elements I'm obsessed with. I like sprinkling them throughout. I did it on the style guide kit. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but let's see. So like all these little elements, like these made in the USA and copyright 2020, even though that one's off center. And then these 3 dots, little circular thing here. I did that I'm just obsessed with that kind of thing. See what I'm saying? These little, I love those little flourishes that kind of hook your eye. Chat. I did not click on this. See what I'm saying? I clicked on this. Look at this. Oh. My hands are so used to doing that back keyboard shortcut. I'm gonna have to change that. Just make a decision, yes or no. It's kind of cool. So I went through a phase where I was super into these overlays, where it was the kind of stuff. I have a bunch of art behind me that you guys really haven't, I don't think you can see it. No, I got to get this camera up and running so you can see the gallery wall, but I absolutely love the idea of, you know, how people like screen print overlays and then the colors mix together and they form like a black, like the, like a really dark gray. Not only is this illustration just absolutely gorgeous, and then these badges are just epic, but that overlay thing really spoke to me. I don't know if I'm super thrilled about that right now. Like I feel like I'm kind of over it, but that's definitely a piece of my arc that, you know, I think I even integrated it into current site. Yeah, right here. This is some custom code where I actually have this live type multiplied over this image. I really like those badges though. Man. See the overlays, and then this I pulled for color because I was really into like the kind of vintage cream, and then that kind of Americana blue and red vibe. Same thing with this, just pulling colors. But I think I'm out of that. I'm out of that phase. Just looking for anything else. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous, right? God. Animations. Interactions. Not sure why I pinned that. All of Away's stuff is beautiful. I was thinking like it could be cool to do some custom icons like these. Yeah. I really liked this layout. This is a great example of a case study. Not a case study, a portfolio piece on Behance that you could model after. Like the way he called out all the different page styles and stuff like that, but it was this specific frame that was just like, man, that grid is great. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 15 column grid. Isn't that weird? I love when people do that. Use a 5 column grid or a 10 column grid instead of the traditional like 8 and 12. Yeah, this is great. Let's go back up here and grab a screenshot of this grid here, or this layout. I'm a sucker for multi-column layouts, but I also like clean type. So we'll figure it out. I love the 5 columns where they do a 2-2-1 division. Yeah. I'm gonna show you guys some work in a minute that's like super awesome. Okay, here's Born Fight. Born Fight is probably, aside from Blind, my favorite agency out there right now. These guys do great work, and their website is like squad goals. Seriously. Man, gorgeous. I actually dug into the code on their website to unearth how they did the grid like this. Because it's not like a traditional columned grid system. It's super funky. Digger, thanks for joining in. That dude looks like me with a trimmed down beard. Yeah, he does. Wow. Wearing a collared shirt though. I don't think I've worn one of those in a year. Right. Get out of Born Fight. Oh, I really like the overlaps on this too. Not sure what I was drawn to on this. Maybe the color? This is really nice. The only thing is, it's kind of a missed opportunity that you're not taking advantage of the full width of the browser for larger screens. and the type is not truly responsive, so. But I definitely like this this kind of salmony pink color. Man, it is already 12:30. Nice menu. Okay, this is one of my design heroes right now, Revoyer. Now, he actually helped co-found or was one of the design leads at Born Fight, so you notice some similarities there. Here we go. Yeah, I guess that works. Whoever suggested that in the chat, thank you. I think that was actually an early prototype of the Born Fight website that just didn't make the cut. I love that illustration style. Which one looks like Vispy CF, brother? This one? It's kind of a bummer to have a delay in chat like that. Oh, I see. Yeah, we build enduring relationships. Makes sense. And this was definitely about the color. I gotta find the right shade of green. I might actually pull Greg in to help me refine my color palette. Okay, so there's another board that I made. Let's see. Typography? Oof. 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 I just can't handle myself around that stuff. Totally running out of room. That's okay. The lines between typography and layout are very blurry, because it's like choosing the right typeface is like 20% of the battle, and it's getting into the right layout is the other 80%. We were super into digging into like Russian constructivism for a while in the future as a inspiration. It's kind of a fun sprint. Yeah, Twitch does suck with the latency. Discord, yeah. Discord is I don't have it up on my computer right now, but I can pull that up. A good brutalist website. I don't know what that means, to be honest. I want to see some examples. Oh, here's the pin, the board that we used for the building a brand website. Oh, heck yeah. You are coming with me. Remember that thing was awesome. Brutalistwebsites.com. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. I get this vibe. I think this stuff's super cool. Not exactly what I'm going for. For a while, I did not understand it because it felt like they were deliberately trying to make it ugly, but it makes sense because that's kind of how brutalist architecture is. So, oh, you can see. Look, they totally bailed on their brutalist layout. That's how it was before. Yeah, so it took a minute for me to just understand what they were going for here, and I'm kind of wondering if this phase is gonna, or this fad is gonna, if it is a fad or if it's something that's gonna stay. But I would totally get frustrated with this. But hey, if that's the emotion that you're going for, you're trying to make people frustrated, go for it. I really liked the type on this layout. Okay, there is a board I'm looking for. I'm not seeing it. Craft, maybe? Made with. There it is. Okay. So I had a client way back in the day that was, she sold like cosmetic ingredients and you know, things for like people to make their own cosmetics that were natural and organic. And I had this idea, is like, hey, if we name the company Made With, it could be kind of cool to do something, you know, like this. It's fresh but serene. I love the Muse and Meta stuff. It's been around for a minute. I came here for this. Color on this is great. Why is it so blurry? Put that on my color board. And then Humble and Craft. This was kind of an idea for a coffee brand that I had a few years ago. Not seeing anything that I would really pull. It's not for this project. See, there's those overlays. I'm telling you. Huge phase for me. Squall dog. I think you're referencing like designing brutalist websites. Like, I really want to piss people off. I want them to come down here and want to put their hands around our throats and just choke us. Yeah. Nailed it. Okay, let's get out of Pinterest. Let's hit Dribble real quick. There's one person that I want to show you guys on Dribble that I'm just floored with. We saw a little bit of his work with Born Fight. Let's see. Sign in off screen here. Yeah, I like you guys. Just not enough to share passwords and stuff. Let's see. They changed a lot of stuff. Here we go. All right, so this guy. Hervoy is a legend, honestly. I think that, like, for some reason I ran into his stuff early on in his career, and it's grids, it's type, it's just awesome. And it was crazy because we both went to awards in San Francisco in, let's say 2019. And he had posted an Instagram story that had a San Francisco police car in it. And I was like, man, are you in San Francisco? He said, yeah. It's like, okay, we got to meet up. So I met him, and it was kind of like it was a fanboy moment for me. Do you guys have designers like that are like not super well known, but you just kind of like put them on a pedestal? It's like, like, because everybody knows like Aaron Draplin and, you know, designers of that world. All the share. Talking about like the unsung heroes. There's one piece in particular that I'm looking for. He's really prolific on Dribble. He does these typeface studies, which are really cool too. We'll just like grab a typeface and then play around with it. You know, it's not client work. It's just for him so that he gets used to using a typeface. I love seeing that stuff. Yeah, this guy MrBenBurns. Oh, thanks. Yeah, look at this. Look at that menu. Killer. Oh, okay. So that stops the animation when you do that. That's handy because like on Mac you kind of have to time it. you gotta like guess and hit the screenshot at the precise time. Dieter Rams, Debbie Millman. Yeah, see those guys, they're legends, right? I'm talking about the guys that are like in the trenches right now. And I guess they're in the trenches too, but look at this layout. It's beautiful. He's out of Zagreb, Croatia. The design scene there is popping off. Okay, I think we're down now to where I remember his work. Okay, so notice the type size. Like, I put, when we were doing the wireframes, I put kind of a sample layout on the screen where I had the word now, really huge letters. And I absolutely love that. Just like take over the entire screen with the type. But he does it in a way that's not like in your face on the whole page, you know, like as you scroll down, it's back to normal, back to reasonable. Yeah, look at these animations. Obviously, this is done in After Effects. It's, I think, pretty sure. It's great, though. Here's another one that I was really fascinated about. The contrast in type size is it gets me every time. That's a cool menu too. Did you notice that? It's like stacked in the corner. It's a cool idea. I think I have a nav bar. Yeah, navigation. Going into this project, I wanted to do like a full screen nav. You know, something where you open a hamburger menu and then the options pop up, but I'm kind of reconsidering that now because I don't have too many menu items. I don't know like what the purpose of that would be. This one. Woo! Let's go to his Behance and take a look at it. See ya, Walker. I think we'll grab this layout here. So this is kind of a cool menu too, where it's got a primary nav here, it's got a hamburger here, but it also tells you like what either section you're on or page. It's kind of cool. It'd be funny for someone to go back through this stream and count how many times I've said kinda cool. And now you'll never be able to unhear that stuff as soon as I say it. I think we put our reps in on this. We haven't really done too much with like links and navigation. What's this? Oh, imagery. but I'm starting to see patterns. I'm starting to see like trends in here that I'm drawn to. So moving into like, you know, the design phase, it's gonna be easy to start building this stuff out. Lemto asks, always wondered with grids, do you think he went into it with the grid or just let it happen organically? I interviewed him, and I asked him that question. That interview will come out soon. And he said that he does it both ways. He sometimes, if it's like a super Swiss project and that's the vibe that they're going for, he'll start with the grid and he'll align everything. But he says for the more kind of like organic layouts, I just do what feels right and then use that to generate the grid after, which I love. I think is such a cool way to design, because for 4 or 5 years now I've been a slave to the grid. Once I learned what it was and how to use it and stuff like that. So it's a cool concept to just kind of create a grid from something that you've made in the past, which is, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, feels right. All right, let's see. I think I want to put that Born Fight nav in here as well. Yeah, Hervoyer is definitely one of my favorites. For sure. Okay. I think we're to awards, and to be honest, I'm not really into feeling a little crispy on this research stuff. So I think that this is where we're going to go back to chatting. Let's see. Oop. There we go. Lemto says that's awesome. As good as grids are, it can become a block to creativity. I agree. I also think that it can be an inspiration to creativity, because a lot of times, like, you have to start with something, and if you don't have that little spark, it's really hard to like stoke a fire. So the grid can serve as that. But I think it's a good exercise to like do some without a grid, and then try throwing a traditional 12 column grid on there and see how that goes, and then try something weird like a 10 column grid or a 15 like they did. It's crazy. Yeah, we could actually talk about that on the future, you know, ways to overcome that creative block. It's like, try it without a grid, try it with a grid. Yeah, that'd be a good like blog post or listicle. Yeah. Van Talen says, my inner developer hates you because of that, but I definitely understand the creative limitations from it. Yeah. Yeah, if you look at Born Fight, like the way that they've developed their grid, it's pretty crazy. And if you dig into the custom code, like, it's pretty gnarly. Or if you dig into their source code, it's pretty interesting the way that they've developed that. Yeah. Because this whole area is like, it's the margin or the spine of the entire site. Beautiful website. And you guys couldn't see it at all because you didn't have this screen showing. But go to the Born Fight website and see it for yourself. It's definitely squad goals. So what about you guys? I mean, do you do kind of the research phase in the same way? Like, I'll spend 2 or 3 days doing stuff like this, like gathering stuff. And the other thing that I've done is I've started growing my collection of books, which unfortunately are all packed right now, but I actually started buying design books. Like, you know, I have a book on grids that was written a long time ago, 60s or something like that. And that's been really enlightening. So I'm trying to branch out from just using like design sites for inspiration. But I'm curious, like, do you follow the same pattern where you're just kind of like, let's go down the never-ending hole of Pinterest? Depends on the project, but yes, yeah. How do you define the verticals of your design phase? I'm not really sure. Cheller, can you re-ask that? Explain it. It is Mueller-Brockman's grid book. Joseph Mueller-Brockman. Yep. It's incredible. It's honestly like one of the best design books out there, I think. Usually it's hours, not days, but it's hours every day. Yeah, that's a habit that I've never been able to get into. Like, I always have to have a reason to go look. And once I'm looking, I kind of get sucked into the you know, Pinterest universe for hours. But I have to have like a reason for being there. Oh, okay. So when you're researching for websites, Cheller, are you thinking components or buckets? Font, icons, layouts, menus, animations. Same thing. Yeah. I think I outlined it at the beginning. Let's see what I have. I've got type, color, navigation, layout and grid, link and button styling, imagery, and then mobile layouts. So, yeah. One of my favorite books is The Graphic Artist and Design Problems from Joseph Brockman. Oh, nice. Yeah. Squall Dog, I've just completely changed my whole creative process. The way that my mentor trained me 10 years ago was design a bunch of stuff on an empty artboard to empty out your mind, and then work with the 3 designs you like best. Oh, man. I think that there's merit to that, too. I do think that, like, there's a quote out there about the best illustrators get, all right, their job is to get all 1 million bad designs out of every pencil or something like that. And I do think that there's merit in sitting down and churning out a whole bunch of concepts in a short period of time. But I also think that, like, you need to have fuel. Like, you need to have some sort of visual library to reference, whether that's in your head or as a mood board or something like that. And then it also kind of helps you with your direction, because you notice that we didn't spend almost any time today on serif typefaces. And if I were to sit down with a blank artboard and there'd just be serif typefaces in the font window, and I might try some of those. And that might have been spinning my wheels, So I think that, like, the research phase is pretty vital. There's a future product right there. Yeah, you gotta have a starting line. Exactly, Zach. Yep. So I'll probably pick this up later. Probably after hours, but I'll continue fleshing this out until Friday, and then Friday we'll go over things. I also have some tweaks that I want to share with you guys on the sitemap and wireframes, and then I think we'll be able to start, like, designing this thing maybe on Friday. We'll see. Before building a brand, I would go to Google Images and look at industry logos for inspiration. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. I also think that there's merit in finding inspiration outside of Pinterest and Dribbble and stuff like that. Like, you want to do those laps, put those reps in, but I think it's also, you want to take a look at, go to an art museum, go find a billboard that's all torn up and tattered that, like, has something cool on it. Or I have this book. all my books are packed right now. Otherwise, I would share it with you guys. But it's this book of ephemera from this guy's just personal antique collection, and it's literally just pages and pages and pages of like button design and cigarette packaging and all this kind of stuff from way back when, 40s, 50s, even the 30s. So they did things back then that like we wouldn't even think about right now. And so that book is always like a really cool kind of jumping off point. And you don't find that stuff on Pinterest, at least not the level of quality that this guy has unearthed. So hey, right on. Thanks, Squall Dog. What do you guys think about this this new just chatting layout? Do we like it? I'm kind of digging it. Emmanuel, thank you for the follow. Montgomery, thank you for the follow. Supergiant Man, Muhammad, Julilpa, Lemto, Alamu. Thank you guys for following. I really appreciate that. And if you're not following, if you like this kind of stuff, hit that follow button and then you'll get notified when I go live in the future. Ba-doom-tsh. We are just chatting now. Going junkin'. Yeah, that's what Draplin calls it. Thrift shops. My first love when it comes to design was punk rock logos. Seriously, like punk rock bands, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were coming out with some crazy cool logos. Like I still have some of my Rancid tees from back in the day, and like it's not OG punk rock, but like, dude, they had some great stuff. And that was like my first entry into branding and graphic design. Yeah, Rancid. You gotta go listen. And the Op Ivy guy, like that illustration is great. And in the early 90s, there was nothing like that, What is more OG than that? I don't know, like Bad Brains and stuff of that era. Dead Kennedys. Yeah, they did get wild with the design. And it was fascinating to see each like genre of punk being branded a specific way. Like the aesthetics of ska was vastly different than the aesthetics of like pop punk, or emo. It was fascinating to see like entire verticals of music being branded the same, even though there was no like centralized person. We should make some series about that stuff. Like that would be really cool to take a look at and analyze. You think the name tags are a little too saturated or maybe different in color? I know. I wish I could change that. That's like it comes default with Stream Elements. See if I can like put together a custom palette, but I doubt it. Yeah, I definitely did not design that. I picked the typeface. It's Inter. Now I feel like punk is weird. That they're 50 years old talking about being anti things. I just find it fascinating that like Tim from Rancid, he's written some crazy stuff. Like he's worked on some pop songs. And so I think at their core, they're musicians over anti-establishment. Inter is open source, and it is one of my favorite typefaces. Yeah. Green Day saying skip school. Yeah. It's totally kosher to talk about that, Squall Dog. You designed everything on your overlays minus the labels for recent follows, recent tips and stuff. Well, if you have any tips, jump in Discord and let me know if I can figure out how to reset the color on those name tags in chat, because they are a little crazy right now. I've been getting into Inter lately. We do have a Discord, yeah. Link in the profile or whatever. A little bit. I'm just literally on Twitch and YouTube, Discord. Nice. Okay, some people sliding into the server. Very cool. There's a spot in there if you do stream. I would really love for the design community to take over Twitch. So if you are streaming, throw it in the streamers currently live thing. That's the place for some self-promotion. So if you're going live, hopefully the community will back you. I think that like the community on Twitch is something different. Like the YouTube community is amazing. The people that we've brought together on our YouTube channel, but it just feels a little bit more distant as far as like chat goes. Like the latency is so bad, and the lack of, I don't know, it's just a lack of emotion over there. In maybe it's the interface. I don't know. It's a different vibe. So I would love for just designers to just take over Twitch and share the bumpy road that is the creative process. Oh, AA says that I couldn't change the color, so each user sets their own color, or everybody has the same color. Let's see. YouTube chat has nothing on us. That's very true. Also good news, last night I figured out how to use my 38-inch monitor for gaming and streaming. So that's gonna happen too. Before, the capture card was not receiving the signal right, so it had some weird effects going on. But I figured out that like it was some settings inside the NVIDIA control panel that I had to tweak, and now it works great. So we may be hanging out playing video games after hours too. Problem with Twitch is they still haven't figured out all the DMCA stuff. That's true. We have relationships with like stock music companies like MusicBed and I forget the other one. But we asked them like, hey, can we use this on Twitch streams? And they said you can, but it'll get you a DMCA strike afterwards, like with the recording. And we're trying to work with them to figure out how we can do something like YouTube. But so far, it's a no-go. Epidemic, yeah, that's the other one. Still trying to convince my wife to upgrade my gaming rig. I think that Zach, that's like more of a apology over permission kind of thing, you know? Streambeats is the best so far. The catalog's super limited, but it's nice. Yeah, boxes show up at my doorstep and my wife's like, dude, what? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was drunk. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. And with Streambeats, you can actually pull all the stems too. What's in my gaming library? I really am into Warzone, just like every other male aged 12 to 40 right now. But I put months of time into Skyrim as well. Oh, you don't like the battle royales? I do. I think they're cool. It's hard. We got a win 3 nights ago or something like that. Squall Dog feels overwhelmed and inadequate around other creatives. I don't know why, but I'm so intimidated. You know, honestly, like, just to take the approach, I recognize that, and, you know, I validate that. And it's really difficult for me. My personality type is like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to be the best at it. Hence why I have 3 freaking cameras in this setup. But I think it's important to just like remind yourself that like comparison is the thief of joy, number 1, and number 2, your voice is needed. Like, people want to hear from you, and your style, your creative skills will evolve over time and all this kind of stuff. And at a certain point, like, as you improve your skills, there's no better and worse. There's just like a different take on things. So as long as you can hit that like bare minimum, good. But I would also just approach every creative that you respect with a learning mindset. Like, there are, like, we had an intern come through blind, Caleb. That dude is an incredible designer. He's an incredible animator. And I was just humbled to like work with that guy. And he was in college, you know? So I think it's just important to recognize that like you're always going to have people that you look up to, even if they're just a new dude on the scene. And I think that like it's important to say it's important all the time, because I feel like I've done that. But no problem. Welcome to the club, overachiever. Yeah, exactly. Remain coachable. That's a good perspective on life. Yep. A Hunter Design, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate that. Yeah, approaching the world with a learning mindset or a learner's mindset is immensely valuable, especially when you work for such a great teacher like Chris. Speaking of which, I gotta go, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me find a channel to raid really quick. Who should we go hang out with? Let's see. Let's see. Art. We got any designers that are live right now that we know? Logo design, visuals by Impulse. Okay. Maybe we can check that guy out. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Let me see if I can figure this out. Raid channel. Visuals by... Oh. Impulse, okay. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. I really appreciate it. I will be back Friday morning at 10:30. We're going to raid Visuals by Impulse and see what he's up to. It looks like he's working on some logos, so show him some love in the chat. Do me a favor and be nice. And yeah, should have fun. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. I'm back. I don't know what happened. Somebody help me. All right, picking a live channel to raid. Here we go. Visuals. Okay, visuals by impulse. Start raid. No, it says something went wrong. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this in Twitch. Let's see. I love doing this because they get so pumped, you know? Like... Okay, let's see. Okay, who's ready? You guys ready? Okay, here we go. We're gonna, yeah, I think you have to click something, and now we're gonna raid. Now.